Good day, and welcome to another episode of the Military and Foreign Affairs Network. I am your host, the voice of reason. So, the title of this episode is the Ethiopian Eritrean Alliance. And I wanted to take a closer look at that and then obviously some other current events that are occurring inside of the region as well. So, first off, the leaders of Ethiopia and Eritrea are meeting or have met in South Sudan, the South Sudan city of Juba, which is the capital. And one could only wonder what this meeting is about. And I would imagine this meeting is looking at the conflict inside of Tigray, and it is looking at the border disputes between Ethiopia and Sudan, which Eritrea has also entered into the fray, so to speak. We do know that Eritrean forces are supporting Ethiopian forces in this border conflict and are operating along the border. We also know that tens of thousands of Eritrean troops are operating inside of Tigray. If it were not for the help of the Eritrean Defense Forces, the operation inside of Tigray, the military operation inside of Tigray, maybe look a lot different than it does now. But this meeting that is taking place in South Sudan, I am sure, is talking about a post-conflict Ethiopia. I think they are looking at, and when I mean they, Abiy Ahmed and Afwerki are looking at divvying up the spoils if, in fact, they are victorious in their military operation that is taking place inside of Tigray. So I think Eritrea did not enter this under the assumption that it was not going to walk away empty-handed. Eritrea and Afwerki want something. Whether that something is to see the breakup of a major political opposition party and having the opportunity to enter Tigray and arrest and imprison or terminate political opposition groups, which they are doing as we speak? Or are they looking to acquire territory? Are they looking to acquire the northern part of Tigray? Are they looking to acquire all of Tigray? The forced deployments of Eritrea currently would have you suspect that, in fact, their war goals go beyond just northern Tigray and the elimination of political adversaries. So then what happens next? Are we going to see a Eritrean-Ethiopian alliance in a full-scale conflict against Sudan and its partner Egypt? I think Egypt has, as Al-Sisi, the leader of Egypt, has been in Sudan having conversations with its leadership, probably about the very same issues that Afwerki and Ahmed are having about the Sudan and Tigray as well. So I think Egypt has committed itself to assisting Sudan, and I believe Ethiopia and Eritrea have cemented its alliance, specifically with these recent meetings inside of South Sudan. We do know that there is a continuing offensive operation by the Sudanese armed forces in its attempt to seize control of all areas that it had envisioned that it is within its border confines. The actual border you can see here on the Google map. So when we talk about cities that are being contested, most of these cities, or rather all of these cities, are actually on the Sudanese side of this border that you can see here on my map. But again, the fighting continues, and just how much will Eritrea actually get involved in the ongoing conflict with Sudan? I think that is probably being discussed as well. Another interesting piece of information that I was able to observe was a speech, a public speech made by Abiy Ahmed, and he was talking about the youth of the country needing to join the Ethiopian National Defense Forces. He specifically mentioned something along the lines of do not just join the Facebook war, but join the actual war. And he is actively recruiting the youth of Ethiopia, obviously, to join the Ethiopian Defense Forces. So what is the thought process behind that? Could it be that the Ethiopian National Defense Forces could be in somewhat of a dire strait in terms of manpower issues? Could it be that they have faced casualties that have occurred inside of Tigray and along the border with Sudan? Could we have seen units either surrender or basically dissolve themselves, to which new recruits are needing to be recruited and reconstitute units that have been recently destroyed or self-dissolved for whatever reason? But it was an interesting speech, and it would seem that the Ethiopian National Defense Forces are actively recruiting, are needing more and more personnel to fight in engagements that are going on across Ethiopia internally, externally. But it definitely would appear that is the case. So we will continue to monitor what is going on. Again, it's just very interesting to see these leaders kind of coalescing and forming these alliances with each other in preparation, I guess, for what is the ultimate question.